Yes, we're going to do a Building the Brokerage episode. Nick and I are out shooting some content to give people what it's like to live here in Southeast Michigan. It is Sunday afternoon. It's 2 p.m. Shout out to my fiance Nicole, because I should be with her and her family. But I had 2 listing walkthroughs already. One in Livonia, and we had another one out this way in Plymouth Canton, and we're out shooting some content. So we have a lot of listings coming up. It's hard in Michigan sometimes, just to be honest, because there's a lot of days where it's not that sunny, and so when we have sunny days like this Sunday, we saw it on the calendar this time of year. We're still in February here. We saw it on the calendar. We're like, screw it, let's set up some stuff. So we gotta get in where you fit in. You know, you gotta be able to shoot when you can. So we're out shooting some content. We are in Canton Township right now. We're gonna shoot over to what I refer to as DTP, downtown Plymouth, which is where the new brokerage is actually gonna be.
DTP.
I think we should get stat sheets for all the subdivisions, and we could just hit 20 in a row like we just did.
That's Matt's idea for the day. He'll have 20 more.
Yeah, at least 20 more. But what we could do is we could get the stats. We'll get price per square foot. We should kind of know off the top of my head. We'll get specifics for those subdivisions. We'll get all the different build types. We'll get all the different square footages, and we'll do a little intro by the front of the subdivision to say, hey, we're going to tour ABC subdivision today. This is what it's about. We'll do a quick lap. We'll film the houses so people can kind of see what it actually
looks like. Do a voiceover with the information.
Right, so people can actually see what it looks like.
Text on screen too, yeah.
I think the problem for a lot of people moving from out of town specifically is they don't really know what they don't know. So sometimes they only have the opportunity of 1 or 2 days, but sometimes they come to town maybe 2, 3, 4 times, or they have family in the area, so they've been here a little bit, they've driven around a little bit, they kind of know what schools they want, or they know what's close to work and sort of what matches their budget, but they don't really know what the subdivisions themselves look like. And I really think there's ways to for instance, we're in Canton today, and we know this throughout all of Southeast Michigan, depending on budget, location, there's some different pockets that make sense for you, and a lot of times there's people that fit these certain thresholds. We have a few buyers that are looking actually in the South Lyon area right now, and a lot of them, their budget's really $550, $600, and I'm not trying to talk their budget up by any means. My job is never to get someone to spend more money than they want to, but I just know at that threshold, price per square foot right now in South Lyon, you're at $200, $225 for some of the nicer high-end stuff in South Lyon. So I know they need 4 bedrooms, I know they need at least 3,000 square feet. That really puts them at least $650, and so that particular situation you can kind of talk about in these videos so people can sort of get educated and be more well-versed by the time they get here. And what's my goal, Nick? What's always my goal? The goal is always to provide as much value as we can. I think as an agent, I think as a broker, I think as an organization, as a brokerage, as a team, whatever it is, people get really caught up in trying to, they think selling real estate is showing homes and negotiating contracts. That's literally 5% of what we do. Now, you better be very damn good at showing homes and negotiating contracts for selling real estate. That's a given, right? But that's almost saying hey, I'm a golfer and I know how to put my golf club on, okay? There's a lot more to it. And so our job, in my opinion, is to really coach and educate the general public on everything going on in their market. So if they live here and they want to know the value of their house, they want to know what's happening, they want to know what's happening in the market, they should have the right to have easy access to that information. If they're moving from out of town, if they're moving locally throughout Southeast Michigan and looking at a new part of town, even though it might not be terribly far, to understand specifics, understand what they're getting into, understand the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, everything in between of what they're looking at can be critically important for people. So in my opinion, it's our job to coach and educate and provide value over and over and over again. And I've been fortunate to have that in the back of my mind since I started in the business. And because of that, we do provide a lot of value. People learn a lot from us. And so by the time they're ready to buy or sell, we've already provided so much value, it's a no-brainer to work with us. So then showing homes and negotiating contracts is obviously our bread and butter and what we're great at. But at that point, we earn the right to do so. I think a lot of people in this business, they think the business is calling for sale by owners and expired listings and getting a business. And that's one way to do it. I'm not razzing people that do that. It's definitely a hard way to go about it. But to this point, I've never called an expired listing a for sale by owner, because I believe in marketing and providing value and coaching and educating our clients and the general public. And if we do that enough, we will attract magnetic marketing. We will attract the like-minded people that like what we're about. They're cool with dealing with me on camera. My core quirks, my good, my bad. I'm definitely far from perfect, but usually we find people that are like-minded, that want to work with someone that's similar to us, that appreciates what we put into our business. We work super hard. It's freaking 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and I should be with my family right now, but I'm building the future for my family. I'm building this brokerage, I'm building this team, I'm investing into my future. So I'm very, very passionate, if you can't tell, about this business, and I'm very, very into it because it's really changed my life, and we want to create a brokerage in which we can help change other people's lives. So this business has made my life infinitely better, right? And so if I can do that over and over again with people internally, we can continue to do that over and over again with people throughout our community here. It's a life worth living. It's fun. It can be lucrative. It can take care of my family. It can take care of the future. But most importantly, I don't think a lot of the general public gets that. So, we're solving a problem with going about it this way.
That's Building the Brokerage, episode 2. Stay tuned for episode 3.